Hey guys, I'm so sorry that we had to end that stream. Hopefully you guys will hop back in here. We got a copyright strike for that. It's a legitimate copyright strike because I guess we got in trouble for streaming the Peacock version of it. That's okay. I don't mind. I found out that we can do a class, and as long as it goes, as long as we don't did anything else with it, then in 90 days we will have our feed restored, or that the strike will go away. We've never had a copyright strike before. We've had, copyright claims, but never a full strike before. I'm really surprised that they struck that way. That was really crazy. But anyway, Sarah should be coming back in any second, and then we'll go from there. Hey guys, how is everybody? Just joining. We were just covering the Preakness. Sees the Gray is the horse that won. Mystic Dan. I don't know what he came in because I don't understand all of the things. But it was Sarah will be back and she will explain exactly what happened because, like I said, I'm completely clueless with this. But that was crazy. That was a great ride. Sorry, guys. Hey, everybody. Hey, Sal. Hey, Palestine. Hey, Sue. Did you guys see the race? Were you in here with us while we've been covering the race? I'm so super excited. We had a good race. It was a great race. I was so upset, though, that Dan didn't win. Our horse didn't pull it out. So sad. Okay, I'm just waiting for Sarah to come back. Hey, guys. How's your Saturday going? How is your Saturday going? How is everybody? Did you see the race? Hey, guys. Camping season, so Wi-Fi is spotty. You missed the race? Oh, no. Sarah, are you coming back? What's going on? Sorry, guys. I'm waiting for her. I don't know. The Preakness, Sue. It was the Preakness. It was the Preakness. It's the second leg of the Triple Crown. Mystic Dan did not win, so it means that that means that I'm trying to think. I'm sorry, guys. I'm losing my mind here. I'm trying to find something for somebody real quick here, and I'm hoping Sarah comes back because I don't know what I'm talking about. But hold on, I'm trying to find something here. All right, guys, I'm waiting for Sarah to come back. I don't know what's taking her so long. I really don't know, but we were just watching the race. We got booted. It's not a big deal. There she is. Thank God. There you are. I'm sorry to yell at you and tell you to stop talking, but I had to end it, and I didn't want them to not hear what you
don't. Say. I don't think you understand what I was hearing on my end.
No, I'm sure I don't. I'm sure you didn't hear me, but that's why I muted you and was like, stop talking, please. So now can you please continue with what you were saying about this race and what everything happens? People are asking and I don't know. So
well, I don't know what they're asking.
we're
And
just asking about who. I don't even know what happened. I know that our horse didn't win, but you were trying to talk about the 539 or the 535 or whatever the hell you were talking about at that time. I didn't know what all that meant.
They came in order win, place, and show. We had Seize the Gray, number 6, 1. We had Mystic Dan was the 5 horse. He came in second. And the 3rd horse that came in at show was like, his name's slipping me because he wasn't one that I gave a crap about. But they just showed what they went off at, and I was trying to write it down when you sent me the message to invite me back up. So
yeah,
let me work here my magic on the TV and try to get this. So and I was really surprised at how low the superfectas and trifectas went off pretty low this year. But that is also based on it is also based on a $1 bet. So the numbers they come up with, basically, if you got the superfecta on a $1 bet, you bet $1, you get back 780. So that's not bad.
So with how we bet, did we win anything? Did because Dan came in second place, didn't he?
Yes, he came in second.
Because I don't understand how it all works. That's what I was trying to tell you. I don't understand.
Let me see here. Hold on. I should have grabbed the remote when they. I'm getting annoyed. I'm glad I have Peacock. Okay, here we go. This is what I was looking for, the screen I was looking for. So these numbers that I'm going to read off to you are based on a $2 bet. These are the official results. The final time was 1 minute 56 seconds. So this is Preakness 149 today, May 18th, 2024. Based on a $2 bet, we have the 6 horse, Seize the Gray. Odds, he went off at 9-1. So he, if you bet $2, you would have won $21.60 for him to win. Place, $8.40. Show, $4.40. Mystic Dan went off at 2-1. He was one of the favorites. He did come in second place. So if you bet him to place, you would get back $4.20. If you bet him to show, you would have gotten back $2.80. Catching Freedom was the number 1 favorite that went off 7-2, and he would, on a $2 bet, have paid back $3.20 to show. So you can see why I say that sometimes I try to stay away from favorites because, for example, Mystic Dan, if you would have bet $2 on him to place, you would have only got back $4.20. And for Catching Freedom, if you had bet $2 for him to show, you've only got back $3.20. So yeah, this would have been a really good race to have done an exacta, a trifecta, a superfecta, or done a boxing or an unboxing. Which means you pick the horses, the top 3 horses that are going to come in. If you box them, then they have to come in that specific order, and you will win a ton of money. You can unbox them and say, okay, these are my 3 top picks, but it doesn't matter what order they come in. They just have to come into the top 3. You still win a shit ton of money, but it's not as much as if it's boxed. So right now on the $2 exacta, it paid off $119.40. A $1 trifecta paid $183.70, and a $1 superfecta paid $749. And again, that's $1, $1, $2. And then the other numbers I gave you were based on a $2 bet.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough.
If that doesn't, you don't understand.
I know, but we didn't win, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, I did bet for Mystic Dan to place.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I didn't know. So did we win something?
Yeah.
What did we win?
Yeah. We won. That's what I was doing. I was going.
I wasn't really listening because I thought we didn't win. So I wasn't really listening. I thought that you were telling everybody else. So I was like, well, I don't really care because we didn't win. So I don't care.
Girl, I'm glad you pay attention to me.
I do, but I was trying to take care of something for someone and I didn't really care because I was like, well, we lost, doesn't matter. So what does that equate to for us since we bet on Dan to place as well as to win?
Okay, so I ended up betting I was using Twin Spires, which is kind of weird. So I ended up with a $1 for him to place. Then I was like, no, that's not right. That's screwed up. So I bet $2 for him to place and then somehow bet another $1 for him to place. So that is a total of $4 for him to place. So we got back a little bit. Not much, just a little bit though. But I did bet him to, I believe, win, place, and show. He was one of the only horses. So imagination. That was my pick, and we got nothing from him. Nada, not a dime. I really thought imagination was going to go in there and kick ass. I'm very surprised that Seize the Gray did.
Yeah.
And I love hearing these backstories about how these owners, ended up with the horses that they ended up with. And I know there was a horse that, won the Derby and its owners had just been brutally murdered the year prior. And so, there's always something. Today's winner is a D. Wayne Lucas horse. I mean, he's a living legend. He'll be 89 years old next month, and this probably is going to be, I would say, one of his last Preaknesses.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, they came in Seize the Gray. I'm going to write Seize the Gray. And then Mystic Dan. So Dan he did actually better than I expected. And Catching Freedom came in third. The Baffert horse that I really liked did nothing. Imagination. So we've got Seize the Grave, Mystic Dan. Sorry. I guess I mixed him up with Magic Mike, but it's about the same, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'll be curious to see if Dan goes on to win or even race in the Belmont, which is upcoming. So, I mean, he won the Derby by a hair, and there was a second in this race where it looked like he might pull forward, but I mean, so he came in second. But Seize the Gray, I mean, he led straight out the gate. I mean, that horse does not have a drop of mud on him, and neither does the jockey. And the jockey's actually, his colors are navy blue and white, and there's no mud on his white at all. So he never got behind another horse the entire race. So, and this jockey is brand new to the game. He just got out of jockey school. He's just been doing this for a couple years. So,
wow.
Like I said, when you've got this sloppy track, anything goes. It can be anybody's game. So tell me what happened with the live, because I'm going to tell you what was happening on my end. First of all, we've got to do something about your sound, because it's not just happening with you and I.
It's your sound too. It's your sound
Right.
too. There's nothing we can do about it, Sarah. It's the feed. I'm sorry. There's nothing else we can do. We've
No,
tried
no,
this.
no. I'm saying even when you were by yourself in Morbid's live, he
Yes,
kept
because
saying,
of StreamYard and because of the connection. There's nothing I can do about it. It's why we don't do lives. This is why we never did lives before. We stopped doing them because our sound quality is never great with it because of the way that StreamYard is and the internet connections that we have. Yours is wonky too. So there's nothing I can do. There's really nothing.
well, with mine, I tell you what I do a lot of times is if you're going to be giving a piece of information and I know it's going to be a little bit longer, I just mute my mic if I know I'm not going to be if we're not going back and forth, because I get reverberation from you. But I thought this was just like a me and you problem. But then when you went into Morbid's live and did that interview, it happened the whole time. You were cutting in and out and going robotic, and he mentioned it to you several times. So I don't know why it has gotten worse lately. That's just my question. Is there any
because it's
reason?
raining. It's horrible, and that's it. I mean,
So
it's
it's the internet then. It's the internet.
It's the internet. Yeah, there's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah.
This is why we stopped using StreamYard in the first place. That's why we went over to Riverside, because StreamYard didn't used to have the ability to do the local recordings, which does make it a better connection. And what we hear inside the studio is not what they hear out there. It is
right.
It's a higher quality out there than it is in here.
Right. So when I was talking, like I was literally like I had the phone up to my ear. I wasn't watching my phone. I was watching the screen and I was reading off the results and everything. And it was just complete. You were just in and out like robotic sounds. Like I couldn't hear you at all. And then finally I heard you screaming, "Shut up."
Well, I was like, will you please stop talking?
No, yeah, no, I could not hear you at all.
Wow.
And that's why I said last night when we were in the live, I said, look, I don't ever talk over people. Like, I'm not rude like that. So if I'm talking over you, that means I don't hear you. Like, the connection's not good.
Yeah. No, I know that. And that's why people think that we talk over each other constantly. We really don't.
No, it's really just become a bad problem recently. It just seems to be getting worse.
When we did the podcast, but when I go and edit it and I put it together, it doesn't sound like this.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, and it doesn't sound like that to our viewers either. Just because you hear me wonky doesn't mean they do. It's just a weird
Well,
thing.
I went back last night and listened to our YouTube, and you could hear it.
Yeah, because last night it was storming, honey. It's the connection. I'm telling you, there's nothing we can do about it. But I don't think our audience was to hear us talk about this audio problem. So let's move on from it.
Right. I just want everybody to know, like, we're not. I'm not trying to be rude at all.
Yeah, no,
it's just technical difficulties.
People don't have a problem with it. It's the idiots that come in that have a problem with it. Our people are fine with how we are. So don't stop apologizing.
Yeah, so I just want to put that out there as a special service announcement. I'm having internet problems. She's having internet problems. I don't talk over people. I'm not rude like that. So if I'm talking and you're talking, then that means I cannot hear you.
Yeah. All right. Well, did we want to do anything else? Wrap up or anything new with the or did we want to continue to stay live, or you want to go now that we've done the race? What do you want to do, Bix?
Actually, my mom's visiting, and today is my son's birthday.
Well, then
yeah, today's my son's birthday, and he is in the Navy, and he is stationed in Japan, and so that's very limiting contact with him. So today is his birthday. Today was when I became a mommy for the first time. And it's a bittersweet day when, you love your baby so much, no matter how old they are, they're still your baby, and they're off in another country. And, I'm sure today is probably what in Japan, maybe it's like nighttime or it's already the morning of the 19th because there's, it's like a day ahead of us. So, yeah, but I mean, so he's on my heart and mind, and
Sure.
I miss him. I
I'm
miss my
tired
little
today.
baby. Yeah.
So anyway, guys, well, thank you for tuning in and dishing the Preakness with the
Now,
good ride.
can you explain what happened with this where you got a violation?
I got a violation. Peacock gave me a
Okay.
violation, a full violation, not just we're going to stop the part where you were streaming it, which is something that they can do, or they can, I've gotten copyright claims before where I can appeal it and be like, okay, no. And I own the rights to the song because I purchased them here. But this was a copyright straight from Peacock. And it's a strike. I can have 3 of them in my whole time period of being a YouTube channel and then we get in trouble. But if this one, I have to do a class for copyright infringement, and then it will fall off within the next 90 days.
I don't know what has happened in the last year, but when I joined TikTok, it was because I was following Vanderpump Rules and Scandal. And I was following Christina Coco, who is a journalist, and she had live watch parties every single day, and she was streaming Peacock and not getting violated.
Well, that's because, okay, on Rumble and Twitch, the entire stream is still up for you guys to go back and watch. I cannot put it back up on YouTube. They took it away completely. But on Rumble and Twitch, it's up. And we don't have problems streaming like that. So maybe for the Belmont, we might not be able to stream the actual race to YouTube. We may have to stream. We can do our content here. We can do our commentary and everything here, but we'll have to stream it out to either TikTok or Goodwill.
Do you know, honestly, if we had not shown any, I'm wondering if we had not shown any of the pre-race stuff, if we had just done the 2 minutes.
No, they did it right with right in the race, and I think that was what they were upset about, was the race was being broadcast.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It happened right in the middle of the race, and they let us finish out the race. That was good, but they literally kicked everybody off. I mean, we had a room of over 2,000 at that point.
I couldn't believe it. When I entered into the chat, there were 68 people.
Right.
And that's the largest that we've had in a very long time.
What, 68 people?
No, over 2,000.
Oh. I was like, honey, we hold rooms way bigger than that normally.
No. We haven't had this large of a number in a long time.
No, not on a live. We hit those numbers when people come back and watch our replays, but no, we don't get them on a live usually.
So that was exciting.
That was exciting, and it was great. And you know what? It was worth the strike. I'll do the class. It's one little class, and then they'll take it down, and we'll be fine because we don't do anything else to really be copyright striked. I don't share a lot of content like that. So, if I do, it's a clip here or a clip there, but this was, a big deal. It's a race, so I'm going to look into, one of the things we need to do as a company, because we cover the news now, is I need to get in with a company that allows us to use the feeds of the others, because there's always a pool, reporter, that can be in the courtrooms and stuff like that, and we can actually get access to that where we won't get strikes or anything, but it's quite expensive to pay for.
Right. And we didn't even have nearly that amount of people for the Derby.
No.
And we had been pumping that up for weeks.
Yeah.
And promoting it. So I don't know. Maybe it was just a fluke or something. I don't know. But
next time we'll just have to figure it out, because I don't want to get another strike, because those are pretty serious when it's a full strike. Okay. I mean, it's fine. I'm not upset about it. I'm upset about it. I'm not upset about it. You know what I mean?
How many people do we still have in the room?
Right now, there's only 26 right now. But
how many?
26.
26. Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
we're not covering the race anymore, and it's over, and everybody probably the big rush of people are done. They saw the race and they're done. That's all they wanted.
Well, it was, you know what? I thank them for joining us because
Absolutely.
this was an exciting moment in history to share with all of you guys. So thank you.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Hopefully next year we'll be on the ground.
Wouldn't that be great? Like I have honestly, I've never been to the Preakness or to the Belmont in person. So I go
Well, where's the
to
Belmont held in New York?
New York.
In New York City?
Yes, New York, New
Oh, well,
York.
we have an honorary family that we can go stay with while we're in New York.
Well, you know what? I was also going to mention this to you, and I will. I'm just going to throw it in here for a second, then you and I can talk about it privately later. But I have a very, very close friend that lives in Myrtle Beach, and I'm really thinking about going there to look at this Micah Miller case,
Well,
so that
did you see what Natasha posted today? Did you see the water?
no,
Okay, so she showed the actual water that she had to walk through to
it's
get
like a
to
swamp. Yeah, I saw.
yeah, to get
Yeah,
to
yeah.
where she was actually going to unalive herself. This was a trek. This was kind of it just doesn't make sense. I'd really like to
Yeah.
go and be there too. I'd like to go down there and look at it and walk that park and see and understand,
Yes.
talk to people, because I'm telling you, I
I
just
knew that
sitting
the
right.
area there was
Mhm.
like us. She had an area she had to go through that was very swamp-like.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Natasha showed it today, and I caught it. That was one of the things I was looking at when I wasn't paying attention to the odds you were reading to me.
No, I knew it. I mean, I knew it just from knowing
I
it,
had not
but
seen it. I had not seen it. I knew it, but I had not seen it for myself.
yeah.
Yeah, does that make sense?
Just and the growth, there was so much foliage, and everything is in full leaf right now, and
Yeah,
so heavily wooded area. And I mean, it's even on the river there, they've got like the cypress trees, and all that stuff. So those cypress roots and everything. So I'm still saying the fisherman's story is fishy. I mean, he hears her crying and he hears one shot, but now we know there were multiple shots fired.
right.
And I told you, that he picked up her belongings and put it in his truck and did not call 911, that the kayaker did. And now that's been, confirmed. You played that. So, um, why didn't he call 911? I mean, if he hears her crying and he hears a shot and he finds her stuff there, that's not adding up. I don't buy this.
I don't either. I don't either. I really don't. I don't either.
I mean, I
Um,
thought it was very suspicious that he heard crying and one shot and didn't make any calls. Then I thought it was even more suspicious when I found out he heard crying and a shot and all of her belongings on the ground and didn't call 911. And even worse, now to find out there were multiple shots fired.
yeah.
So, and he did not see her body, the kayaker did. I'm just like, was he just gonna like take her purse home or what? I mean, there was $500 cash in it, but as he was leaving the park, the police were entering, and he stopped
Yeah.
and was like, "Hey, y'all know a Micah Miller?" And they're like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Well, here's your purse. I found it on the bank." I'm like, "Where were you headed with it, sir?"
Right. Right. Yeah. That's
Makes
weird.
me it
All
makes me feel like he was headed off with it somewhere and got scared real fast and decided to hand it off to the cops.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
So,
So I
yeah,
don't know.
if
I
you
mean,
guys like,
he's
I
saying he's
mean,
being harassed and everything else now, and I just don't know if I buy all that. I don't know.
oh, I'm sure he has been harassed and deserve it. I mean, I don't know if he deserves it or not, but I mean, there's definitely a lot of questions to his story. At this point,
Yeah.
I don't have sympathy for him.
Right. No, I
I
don't
just
either.
don't. I don't. I'm angry with him for not trying to find the location of the crying and the shot. I am upset that he picked up all her belongings and, didn't bother to call 911. And I do want to know where he was headed with that purse and all of her belongings and the cash and the phone.
Yeah.
And why didn't he see the body?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't tell you that,
Like I said, the kayaker found the body and called 911. And, I don't know. There's just, this is not adding up. And I also don't, I mean, I don't want to piss Natasha off, but I have my doubts that she has been interviewing him and talking to him and has some kind of a personal relationship with him now. I just don't believe that.
I don't know. It's part of what I didn't believe when she said that she interviewed
Dan?
Dan and all of them. I mean, I didn't believe her back then, and I don't know really if she did or she didn't at this point. Like I can only go by what she says. I can't. And she hasn't shown an interview or given any proof that she did. And I'm not saying she didn't. I'm just saying that she has not shown she's not posted it like a recorded interview or anything. So
Right. And I mean, you would think she would have asked him all the questions that I'm having, and we would have more answers, and we wouldn't still be left with all these questions.
Well, that's why we're going to contact him ourselves.
Yeah, well, like I said, last time I was there was in 2010. I mean, I did used to live on the East Coast and on the East Coast. I lived in North Carolina, South Carolina. So I do have someone that's very close to me that lives in Myrtle Beach, and I'm thinking of contacting them and seeing about going there. I've been wanting to go back for a while, and with the fact that I do have experience with that area, I really want to go there.
I do too. I'm sorry, we're dealing with a bunch of hate from my Dee Dee video today, so I'm trying to block and delete. So these people.
So my question to you is: so what do you think about going to Myrtle Beach?
I just told you I want to go to Myrtle Beach, so I don't know why you're asking me that question again.
Oh, no. I meant like when.
Oh, when? When do you want to go? I don't know. I'm not sure how far Myrtle Beach is from me. I'd have to plan it with my husband for him to, take me.
It's about 15 hours for me.
I don't know how
but
far.
It's going to be closer for you, because I would say it's probably you're about 4 hours closer to Myrtle Beach than I am.
Well, let's see.
3 to 4 hours, somewhere in that range. Just a few hours less than me, because you're farther east. So 10-hour drive. So yeah, with you being
my car, because I wouldn't want to not have a car. We need to have a car unless we rent a car, but I don't want to do that. So
right. I may just have to just come pick you up and take you.
I mean, you could.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't be really that far out of my way. We're heading. I mean, I'm going to be heading, east the whole time, southeast. So you're not that far out of my way.
God, these people are fucking sick with their comments. I'm literally reporting their comments. Left and
right.
I
can't even see the comments.
No, not in our comments here. I'm talking about on TikTok. I made that post about Dee Dee, and they have come for us in the there's so many people that support it and are like, absolutely, da 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 da. They're logical, reasonable, fucking regular people. And then, and then there's the asshats who have to come on there and basically just say the worst stuff about Dee Dee ever with no proof, no evidence, no nothing, just horrible, awful things. They've said she should burn in hell. They say that she hopes she has no eternal peace, that she was a monster who should be locked away in prison for what she did to her kid. I mean, they're just going on and on. It's like, and then we're being attacked because, we're supporting this. How are you supporting her? I didn't say I was supporting her. I never said Dee Dee was a good person. I simply said Dee Dee was a good mom, and she was a mother, a child, a friend, a sister, and you don't just get to choose who you snuff out life of and who doesn't. There is judgment for a reason. There are court systems for a reason, and Dee Dee should have had her day in court for the fraud that she committed. Absolutely. But did she deserve to be brutally, slayed like her daughter fucking did her? Absolutely not. No. If you're anyone who thinks that is what should have happened, I don't need you on my page at all. Get off of all of our content, because we are obviously not the same. You're justifying murder and I'm not.
Right. So. I mean, there's plenty of con artists out there that, we see them every day, I mean, right. They're on TikTok, they're on YouTube, they're on Facebook. I mean, there's people out there running cons all the time.
Right. And when I said that to one
of them, do they deserve to be butchered?
Yeah, that's basically what this person said. I messaged that person back, and I was like, okay. So they said, well, she was a liar and a thief, and she got what she deserved. So they didn't say anything about the abuse, because I had already talked to them about it, and I said, no, she was not abused. It was medically necessary, blah, 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 blah. So their next thing was, well, she was a liar and a thief, so she got what she deserved. A liar and a thief deserves her to be brutally slayed by her own child?
Right.
Wow.
I mean, where is these people? Listen. You are. These people will justify her actions by any means that they can.
And I think it's,
it is. It's Queen Gypsy all day long. And they think that her mom got what she deserved, and it does not matter what you show them. They want to be willingly ignorant. Yep. They just, believe that the Munchausen by proxy existed, and now it's been proven that it wasn't. And, I feel like, Gypsy is backed into a corner here, and she's going to snap soon.
Yeah, I agree. And so then I got a comment like this, though. And so I know that what we're doing is reaching people. I know that what we're doing is helping to get the truth out and to do the right thing, because this person just said, I made a comment when you first started posting about this before she was out on parole. I regret it, because this is a scam and she is a calculated murderer. So, I mean, there are people. That's the thing. There's 3 groups of people that we see with this case. The first ones are the people like us that have seen the light, that have looked at the evidence and have gone, hey, no, this is not right. What she did was wrong. Dee Dee was not doing this. This is no way. That's the first group. I wasn't in that group to begin with. Then there's the group that is completely 100% fucking shit stains. They're the gyp shit stains, I call them. And, because they're supposed to be called stands, so I call them gyp shit stains.
Yeah.
And they just will not listen to any reasoning, nothing. There is no way you could possibly sway them. It doesn't matter. She could literally walk up into Times Square and shoot a person and they wouldn't fucking care. They'd be like, well, it was justified. Her mom abused her so badly that she snapped in Times Square and she just shot that person. I mean, it's just,
in some way, it will always... Right. It will always be Dee Dee's fault for everything bad she ever does.
Poor Gypsy, she had to shoot that man in Times Square. Oh, that's what they would do. And then there is the third group. There is a group of people that are interested in the case, that once they, at first, they're like, no way, this is not, no, that girl was abused. It's horrible, awful. This is horrid. How can you even? And then they continue to listen and see the evidence and the facts that we have put out. And they're like, oh, shit, I was wrong. And those are the people who are just logical, regular people. People talk about...
I think, and I believe there's even a fourth group too. And they're the ones that say, I don't believe that Dee Dee deserved to be murdered. And there was other ways that Gypsy could have responded. But However, I do still support her and want
Right.
to see her do well. And those are the most that fourth group's the most frustrating to me, because I'm like, okay, so you're admitting that what she did was wrong, but yet you still want to give her a chance.
Yeah. But nobody wanted to give Dee Dee a chance. But nobody wants to look at Dee Dee and say, well, you know, if her daughter deserves a second chance, then Dee Dee definitely deserves a second chance. She didn't kill anyone, and we should be considering the fact that Dee Dee's the fucking victim. I'm so tired of Gypsy being the fucking victim. It's fucking maddening. How is she the fucking victim? I want to fucking know. She's not. And if she was abused, then that is a totally different case. But none of that justifies fucking murder.
No, nothing.
None of
There's
it justifies
nothing.
her behaviors today. None of it justifies her talking about how Nick sent her limp dick pictures now on a live.
Oh God.
I never got that information today. She went on a live with Bree and basically said and was joking that Nicholas was sending her limp dick pics. What a fucking bitch.
And you know what? The reason why she's doing the MASH reporting on the Nick stuff, and the reason why she is actually making fun of his manhood on Bree's Live is because he's getting a little tiny bit of support right now.
Right.
Because it's his birthday on the 20th, and people are being encouraged to send him birthday cards, and she can't take it.
Because he's just an autistic buttercup.
It's like, could the dude just at least have a birthday? Could he have a birthday card? He's in prison.
There's no more explanation to it. You're a disgusting, despicable, deplorable human being, Gypsy Rose, and anyone who supports you is too.
You know, just like when Ryan made his first post and it wasn't anything, she had to go in and attack him on the dog.
And belittle him and attack him about Pixie, who you can tell loves him and he loves that dog, even though it wasn't a dog that he wanted. That dog was not for him. He bought it for her to be a companion while he was at fucking work, while she laid around on couch eating bonbons.
Yeah, but she had other friends.
Videos for the world that she can't fucking do her makeup.
Uh-huh.
Ah!
No, it's like he can't even have one post or get one single comment of support. She has to go in and just attack him. And then that's what she's doing with Nick right now. She's doing this with, she can't stand the fact that somebody might send Nick a birthday card. No. The dude is sitting in prison for life. Really, let him have a birthday and a birthday card.
You told us that he was your savior, that he saved you from this horrible, fucking awful, torturous life. And this is how you thank him? This is how you thank your savior? There's a difference between saying, look, I know what both of us did was wrong. He's in prison for it. He shouldn't have done it. I did convince him to do it, and I'm sorry that I did, but he has to pay the price for what his choice was to do it. And so he was served, you know, he had a trial, and he was given a death penalty, or given the life in prison instead of the death penalty.
Life plus 25. Life plus 25.
Another post, and there's a whole other difference of just, I'm going to literally annihilate the person who supposedly saved my ass. What the fuck, bitch? What the fuck?
It's, you know, it's disgusting. Just disgusting. This is what I'm talking about. Like going on Bree's Live and making fun of his manhood or whatever. That is such a low blow, but this is where it comes back to, like I told you, over the last couple weeks, I have seen another side of her where she is so mean. She is getting to be so mean, and it's a meanness, and I guess it's what Ken brings out in her. So everybody better watch their backs.
Yeah. I mean, she's harassing analytic. I never could say it. What is her adaptive Kate? She's been harassing her forever, and I know she was. And she's like, I didn't even know who you were until just the other day. No, you started harassing Kate back in January, And we have proof of that.
Well, Kate and her have been going back and forth this past week, and
I'm
Kate's
aware, and she's
like,
just harassing the shit out of Kate.
she's like, "Are you sleeping?"
Like, what? You just can't deal with the fact that someone else might actually have a story to tell? It's got to be yours and only yours. You're the only victim of Munchausen by proxy in the whole fucking world. You're the only one that matters.
But now we know that you're not.
Yeah,
and we can prove that you're not. So now she's going to go after Kate, and she was like, Kate was like, well, your comment is very condescending. And she's like, oh no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it that way. I try to support every abuse victim and survivor.
I would never abuse anybody. I would never bully anyone except my mom, who I killed. And Nicholas and the girl on the street that I told, that she stole the stuff out of the safe to give to Nicholas, and all the other people, and Ryan. I would never abuse or bully anyone. Never, ever. No, I haven't bullied Fancy or anyone. Not a single person ever in my whole life.
Well, that's why she's mass reporting. She's mass reporting, and they said that she's mass reporting not only on TikTok but Facebook too. Facebook too now.
Yes. Well, how do you think I ended up with my freaking Facebook, who has been up for 8 years, has over 60,000 followers for that entire 8 fucking years, all of a sudden gets hit with violation after violation after violation after violation. Some of them are 2 and 3 years old of where the videos were posted. And then I can't invite anyone to my page for over a year. I can't monetize my page for over a year. And that means any content. I'm not talking gypsy content. I can't monetize any content on my business's page because of her and her fucking bullshit, where she called out for everyone to deplatform me on every fucking platform. And she tried to do it on YouTube too. She's a disgusting waste of fucking air. God.
How do you really feel? How do you really feel?
Oh, how do I really feel? Well, this really made me mad. Okay, look, I have tried. I have found peace with this. I have gotten to a point where I can talk about it calmly and rationally. Yes, Rachel Garland. Yes. Okay, I can do that. I can talk all the facts you want me to talk. I can even talk about the people without getting completely insane all the time like I used to. Okay, because I've had that. I found the peace. The chromosome disorder gave me peace. But I'm sorry. I made a very simple post today about Dee Dee Blanchard, explaining. This is it. This is literally the post. It's a picture of Dee Dee in high school. That's it. That her friend gave me. And it says Dee Dee in high school. She was a daughter, a mother, a sister, a friend. You snuffed her out and made her a villain in your twisted fairy tales. And then the copy for that, I said, I hope your soul rests in peace. I hope your soul rests in peace, Dee Dee. You didn't deserve to go out like that. That's it. That's my whole post. And we have had at least 100 people come on there to talk about how wonderful Gypsy is and how she was so fucking tortured, and that Dee Dee is a horrible, awful, evil person, and she deserves to roast in hell for all eternity. And they hope she never has any peace. They hope she should be, just drawn and quartered and tortured for all of her life, for all of her eternity, all of her death too. Because she's got to take that from her too. She can't even have peace and death from you.
And I tell you what, a lot of people that have that opinion are people that are basing their entire opinion on the act.
Yes. Yes. And
that is where we keep running into
that. There's tons of proof. I'm like, and where would that be? Could you please give it to me? There's tons and tons of proof she abused her child. And where would it be? I'd like you to give it to me, because if it's there, I will report on it. What I am telling you, there is no proof of anything other than what shit fucking says.
Right. And like I said, I tell people, don't base your opinion on the act. It was highly fictionalized. But it seems like every time I run into these fanatics, these gypsy stands or whatever, they're basing everything off the act.
Do you know, I see gypsy stands all the time. And you know what I do? Do you know what I do? I scroll. I scroll. I don't attack them. I don't go after them. I don't try to get their content taken down and all that shit. I don't give a shit. I don't care. If I don't like it, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm a Gen Xer. If I don't like it, I just change the channel.
Exactly.
If you don't like something, don't fucking come into our groups. They come into our groups that are clearly not supportive of Gypsy, and then they're like arguing with us about facts we know to be facts because they've seen the act and they're just so fucking wise to the world. You've never experienced abuse. Bitch, I lived abuse for my entire fucking life. How dare you minimize anyone else's fucking abusive situation because we are calling out someone that we do not believe is one of us. She is not an abuse victim like the rest of us. She's not. She's a whole beast of her own. It's disgusting.
Well, I have a feeling in the next couple weeks we're going to see some shit go down with Gypsy. I think we're going to see some shit go down with the Sarah Jane Anderson hoax and also with this porn prank. I have a feeling over the next 2 weeks there's going to be something's going to happen.
I'm aware. I'm waiting for it. I'm prepared. I told you I call their fucking moves before they make them. They're too quiet right now. They're plotting. I'm aware. You know, and it just really fucking pisses me off that Dee Dee cannot even be a victim one moment in this, not on her birthday, not on Mother's Day, not any, just like Nick, he can't be praised or supported in any way. Look, he did a horrible thing if he did this. Okay. But you convinced him to do that. You manipulated him into that. And he made a choice based on diminished capacity out of love for you and the child that you told him you were carrying that she killed. That is not the same thing as Charlie fucking Manson or, let's see, let me think of one. Diane Stouty. Okay. Diane Stouty was in Chillicothe with her. She killed 2 of her children, killed her husband, was trying to kill the 3rd one. I would never in my entire life ever say that Diane Stouty is a victim because she was the perpetrator. It's like, it just blows my mind. Here we have.
Right. It's like, it would be as if you said, well, those kids were brats. They deserved to die.
They deserved it. No, I want to know what made Diane do it. I've tried to write her. She's not on the Securus or Severus or whatever the heck they've changed it over to JPay from that. She's not on that system, so you have to handwrite her, and I don't know why that is. It might be because she is such a high profile inmate. I don't know, or she may not have a tablet, because if she doesn't have a tablet, then she can't use JPay. So you have to write her snail mail basically. And so then if she gets it and she sees it, she might write you back. But it'd be like saying that those kids deserved it because they were just rats. This is so, I just can't. It's so upsetting.
It is. And what Gypsy did on, May 3rd out there gallivanting around in LA and not making any mention of her mother's birthday whatsoever. And then to also just the Mother's Day post was just horrendous.
The Mother's Day post makes me mad on so many levels. And so I was trying to record a video today about it, and I just kept fucking it up because I got so mad every time I tried to record the video that I'd say things that I knew I was going to get a fucking catch a ban for. So I was like,
right.
Damn it, delete. Damn it, delete.
Right.
The point that I wanted to make, she says the first thing, it's not lost on me that my biological mother is not here to celebrate Mother's Day. That, that's shitty in itself. That's already shitty. Okay. Yes, we know it's not unnoticed, babe. You murdered her. Yeah. That's very,
we all noticed. She's not here. You murdered her.
That's why you're talking, because we noticed. Otherwise, no one would give a shit what you were doing. You and your squishy ass body and your fucking nastiness. No one would care. No one would give a flying fuck that you're standing on a beach twirling around and I've got everybody wrapped around my little finger. Nobody would care. No one would give a flying fuck. But instead, then you have to go on, and I love the double downs. I mean, it's like she can never just say one thing and just leave it at that. It's never that. She can't do that. and just even if she just were to ignore the fact that people call you out on the fact that you're lying, don't respond, okay? And then just go on with your life, sister. But you have to come after every single person that calls you out for a lie, and then you have to say the most ridiculous shit to cover your lie. And we look at you going, that's not any better. Do you understand that you had this way, this reasoning, and now you've given this reasoning, and it did not clear it up any better or make it any better. In fact, usually it makes it worse. I don't understand it. But she says, oh, Susan Smith, let me tell you, I understand Diane Downs and Susan Smith. We're going to cover them. They are two of my favorite cases to talk about. I cannot stand mamas who unalive their babies. It just, oh my God. But going back to this Mother's Day post, the thing that upset me is when she said, was my mom a good mom? No. Was my mom the perfect parent or whatever the hell she said? No. Was my mom a good person? Yeah. How is your mom a good person if she frauded and thieved and did all of these things? How is she a good person, but yet she wasn't a good mom? I think you need to say that the other way. She wasn't a good person. She was a liar, a thief, a con artist, medical fraud. She was a mean girl, all of that. But as far as moms go, she's a pretty damn good mom. She's trying to give you a pretty good life.
She was willing to, commit serious crimes in order to give Gypsy whatever she wanted.
Oh, honey, she's already out. Talk with Rose. She's been out forever. Oh, are you talking about that Diane Downs or Susan Smith? Yeah, I don't think either one of them will ever get out. They can't even, Diane Downs can't even admit that she did anything. So until she admits that she does something, she won't ever get out. And she will not admit that she killed her children. She just won't.
I can't. Those are cases I don't want to deal with.
Well, I do. I actually am really, the moms who kill are fascinating to me. The family annihilators are fascinating to me. I don't like the abuse cases. Okay. When we're dealing with a case of clear-cut child abuse, those are not the cases I can deal with. I can't. It gets core. It makes me angry and hurt, and it just to my core, because I'm a mom and I just you don't mess with the fucking babies. Like, that's it. But the ones where the mothers who, like Casey Anthony and Susan Smith and Diane Downs, Darlie Routier, all of those cases fascinate the crap out of me. I mean, just because it's just so, how did a parent snuff out their child's life? Especially parents that weren't abusive, that weren't abusing, like Chris Watts. There's no information before that he did anything that was not good to his wife and kids. There really wasn't. There was nothing. Everybody said he was a great guy. He was a good father. He did all the things right. He was good. Now I can see signs. I saw warning signs. We interviewed Lena Darhali, who wrote the book about him, My Daddy is a Hero. And there are clear-cut red flags, but for the most part, I mean, he took good care of his children and he was good to his wife. He started, cheating on her. That's not good. But there's no abuse. There was no years and years of abuse to these children, and then he just killed his wife and children. That's not happened. These are usually men that just up and down do it. It's just whatever triggers them in that moment or whatever they're going through, like Christian Longo. He realized that he was going to end up disappointing his wife terribly because he was going to end up in prison for all the freaking shit that he had done and put her through and did all this stuff. And so he offed them all, out of his thought process is it was better for them to all die than to be disappointed by their father. What?
Right. And we see, it was it boils down to a financial issue. Same thing with Murdaugh, financial issues. And then, but, it's just, and then with, Watts, it was just financial, and also, you know, he wanted a different life. He wanted that single life with his girlfriend.
And I think because she wanted to be the one that had his first baby, and so he's like, okay, I'll take care of it. Melancholy, Andrea Yates. Andrea Yates is
Hey,
one.
Fancy, I have to jump off here,
That's okay.
but
You can jump
it
off,
was great
and I'm gonna
talking to
end
you
it here for
guys,
you.
and thank you so much for being with us on this special day and celebrating the
Josh
Preakness with
Powell.
us. We will keep you guys up to date on the Belmont. We'll get that figured out on how we can stream that without getting hit with any violations. But
Yep.
thank you guys so much. It's been such a great live.
Thank you, sweetheart. I
Okay,
appreciate you.
talk
I'm
to
not
you
going to be
soon.
on much longer either. So, but I
Okay.
want to have this conversation. So,
Yeah, go ahead
yeah,
and talk to
love you.
your comment section. All right,
Yeah,
talk
love
to you
you.
later.
Bye, honey. Yeah, that's Josh Powell. We have all of the FOIA stuff on Josh Powell. We put it in probably 2-3 years ago, and um, and we have it all. And I've never gotten to go through all of it. It's like thousands and thousands and thousands of pieces of paper because they released them all to try and help find Susan. And I've talked with the Susan Cox Powell support groups, the ones that were selling the bracelets and everything. I have talked with them. We're supposed to interview them at some point in time. But yeah, I have the FOIA. I have everything. I have everything, Starlight, everything. And it's a lot. But what I was saying, which one was I talking about? I can't remember which one of the fucking Shanann. Look, I don't know enough about Shanann to know what I feel about Shanann. I understand the MLM world. I was in it. I was a top producer. I had a huge team. And I walked away from it several times. So I know the highlight real life that she was living online, and we don't know what goes on behind closed doors. She could have been a very dominating woman who belittled him and drove him crazy. She could have. I don't know if you guys know a little bit about my background and how I got into true crime and why it has gotten so into my head and has never left. Is I know she didn't go along with her mother-in-law, and I know that there was, I understand, but I'm saying the life that she was living was a highlight reel, and the MLMs promote that. Okay, it's a fake it till you make it kind of thing, and I understand the life they were trying to live, and she was living well past her means and all of those things. But I don't have any proof that she ever did anything to her children. And here's the thing. Okay, here's my thing with that. We are again, you're taking a victim, no matter what she did. I do not believe she abused her children in any way. I don't believe she abused her husband. I mean, they may have had problems or whatever, but I don't think she abused him. And here we are, we're taking a victim whose life was taken, her children's lives were taken, her unborn baby's child was taken, and people bash her everywhere. And I just don't appreciate that. I don't support that. She is a victim. Now we can talk about her life and if she was a bad person or a bad mom or any of those things or whatever. I'm willing to hear those things. But I think that society has gotten too comfortable with blaming victims and taking away their story because we're so enamored with the story of the perpetrator. And I feel like she has been crucified all over the internet, and I'm just not going to do it. If I find out information, then, and no, Chris is not a saint. Absolutely not a saint. He killed 4 people. 4. 4 people died at his hand, at the hands of him. 4. That's a lot. So, and I think it's disgusting that he says that his children visit him in prison, in his dreams. And I just think it's disgusting. You don't get to have that. I'm sorry. No, I hope your children haunt you in your dreams. I hope your children and your wife haunt every thought and every moment of his life. I do. Okay. I do. Now when we're talking about like, Andrea Yates or Susan Smith or those things. Those are interesting to me. Chris Watts is interesting to me in the fact that, you know, I've done a little bit of it. I've done a little bit of work on it. We were going to do a podcast on it a year back when we were going to release our third season, and then Christina passed away and we never got to the third season. So we have the outlines done, and I even have the book sitting right here. In fact, if you go and for the third season of our podcast, we started talking about this, which is the Christian Longo. Here, let me see if I can get it so you guys can see it. Hold on. It's the true story, murder memoir, Mea Culpa, by Michael Finkel. I've actually talked to Michael. I know him. And this is the Christian Longo story. Now, Sarah thinks that Christian Longo actually might have been a copycat, or that Chris Watts might have actually copycatted Christian Longo. And so we're going to do a comparison of the two cases and see how much, if we lay them over the top of each other, how much they actually are similar, because there is a lot of similarities. I love the anxiety as Chris watches his neighbor's video of his truck. Yes. Oh, yes, Rose. He was in panic. And here's the thing about Shanann. My Christina was very good friends with her friends. My Christina reached out to her friend Christina, I believe, and the person that was on top of her, Thrive. My friend Christina became good friends with them, both of them, and we were working on hopefully getting them to come and talk with us. And then she passed away. But they just, you know, they speak the praises of her, and they just love and adore her. And she was loved by many, but again, like you said, we don't know what went on behind closed doors. We just don't. We don't. You know, we can deduce from things we know. We can use evidence and patterns of behavior and psychology to make predictions and theories and things like that. But we'll never know. We'll never know, because he took that right away from her. Just like we'll never know the truth about Dee Dee, because Gypsy took that right away from her. Do I think that Dee Dee should have gone to prison for medical fraud? And if she did commit medical child abuse, I think she should have gone to prison. Absolutely. I don't believe she committed medical child abuse, in my opinion, allegedly for entertainment and educational purposes only. And my opinions of the host are not necessarily the opinions of the company. Thank you. I do think I look good in green. It's a color that I've tried to embrace more. And so, you know, I think that, I think that we are too quick to follow the story. And sometimes we forget about the victims. It is interesting. A bunch of videos from Benita Barbie. Okay, I will check them out, Melancholy, because I mean, I am a person who deep dives into these cases. I want to know every single thing. That's why when I reached out to the gentleman who did the Gone Cold case on Josh Powell and Susan Cox Powell. I am friends with Ann Bremner, who is the attorney who took it to court and sued CPS on behalf of the Cox family and won, I think, something like $5.5 billion from the state. Exactly. The news only published what hooks the readers, not what's true. That's exactly it. That's 100% it. Don't even get me started on Leticia Stout. Hey, Leticia, you still waiting for that apology from everybody? Do you guys remember her talking about it when it first broke, that she was gonna prove everybody wrong and everyone was going to have to issue her an apology? Do you remember that? I do. I was like, lady, you got some big monkey balls for saying that. Like, you got big cojones. I haven't heard the jail calls yet, Starlight. I stopped following the Leticia case. Like, okay, so when Leticia Stout broke, we had Lori Vallow, Leticia Stout, Megan Boswell, and Lisa Snyder that all broke within probably a month of each other. And we were like, what the fuck is going on? And yeah, that's Natasha. I know who Natasha is. Anyway. And Zav Girl, both of them did it. I have mixed feelings on it, to be honest with you. Okay. And so when all of those, Gannon grabbed me from the beginning too. And then I stopped following because what happened was we went into the pandemic and all the cases fell out of the news because nobody was going to court. And so I just was like, oh, well, you know, and so we never heard more about Megan Boswell, which was the gypsy. She's a real gypsy, like her mom are Romanoff gypsies. And maybe they're not Romanoff, but I think they are. They're the gypsies from Tennessee. And that little girl was found, you know, on her grandfather's property in a shed. And she was just a sweet little girl. Then Lisa Snyder, I stopped following too. Once I heard about the dog, I was out. I couldn't do it anymore. I was like, bestiality, I draw the line there. Sorry, I'm out. No. And then Leticia Stout, I stayed on it for a while and I intend to go back to it. A friend of mine has done an amazing job of covering it, and that's Word Case Studies. Jen Liu, love her. And then we are back on the Daybell train. My favorite out of four of those to talk about is Lori Vallow. You know, like I said, sometimes I can't do the cases that are severe child abuse. Like I watched the Gabriel Fernandez Netflix special and I was so tore up. I was in the bathroom. Like it was just, I was vomiting from hearing what they did to that poor boy and seeing the pictures. And I just couldn't. And I wanted to cover it so bad, but I just couldn't. Well, she's my favorite because she's the kookiest out of all of them. It's the wildest story. Like it's just wild and it never ends. And the death around them, I'm just waiting to see how many more people actually died around them because I don't think we're done seeing the body count on them. The Harmony case, is that the Andrew Montgomery case? I didn't follow that one because I couldn't stomach hearing that one. And that was, you know, that's when we had the porn incident after we covered the one time we covered his freaking trial and it's the sentencing. He hasn't appeared in court for however fucking long. You know, he didn't come to court the entire fucking trial, comes to court on sentencing day. We're covering this. We're listening to victim impact statements and all of that. And the court case wraps up and some dumb fuck decides to come in here and throw porn on our freaking site. Like, what is wrong with you people? Yeah, Mama, I don't know if I'm going to be able to cover it, to be honest with you. I've looked into it and it is, it's hard. That one's going to hurt my soul, I think. Yeah. Like, But Starlight, I didn't follow that case real well, but from what I understand, the stepmom is suspicious as fuck too. So that's sus as fuck, right? I don't know. Anyway, all right, guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up here. It's 8:30. I've been on here for a while with y'all. I've had a great day talking with you, you know, and I can't wait for us to be able to cover more and more and more cases, much more important than Gyp Shit and the Clown Club and the Shit Stains. You know, I have lots and lots. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. It's probably not. But like, look. This is just the cases right here. Right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's just 8 pages backwards and forwards that I want to look into. All these cases that we want to cover. And if you guys have not gone onto our YouTube channel and watched anything other than our gypsy content, you really need to, because Colleen and I worked our asses off on those cases, and we put in a lot of work and we did a lot of good work there. We've got amazing interviews with incredible people in the crime industry. And so I just really implore you to go look at our other work. Oh, I have so many notebooks. This is just the one I wrote down for ones that I wanted to cover, now. We have lists and lists and lists, and I have books and books and books of true crime that I haven't even got to read or report on. But anyway, guys, I'm going to close it out. Thanks for tuning in and dishing true crime with the Good Wives. Don't forget to join our Patreon member club where you can get inside documents from the cases, bony mini episodes, and some great, amazing Good Wives merch. Follow us on all of the social medias at Good Wives Net. You can find me on TikTok at SpicyRed92. If you'd like to follow my co-host Sarah, she is at SadieBeth1. Colleen, you can find at CMcShane12. That is all three of the TikToks for all of us. On top of that, we do have a brand new Good Wives TikTok. It's Good Wives Net 2. Please go over and follow it so that we can continue to report on these cases, because I would like to get that off of my Spicy Red account. Spicy Red is going to be a lot of my snarkiness, my funny videos, me dancing around, singing, all of that, and probably my gypsy content will stay on there because I'd like to separate it off from the rest of our regular content because it's just a hideous mess. And then our new book is coming out. Our first book is called The Companion to The Good Wives Guide to True Crime Season 1, Gypsy Rose. You can pre-order it, the ebook, on Amazon right now. You can also pre-order the paperback copy on our website with autographs. So I think that's everything. You can support us by, following, giving us, we have our super chat. We also have a buy us a coffee. You can go there at buymeacoffee.com/goodwivesnet. And you can also support us through, other means by just sharing and getting our content out there. So thank you guys so much. Thanks for dishing the true crime with the Good Wives. Serving up true crime, one dish at a time. Bye, guys.